Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. And let's look at these kittens. Hello, Mr. Kitten. How are you? Actually, I believe that's Miss Kitten. My apologies. Don't mean to misgender the kitties. Here's a little kitty here. Chowing down. This is the shyest kitty. This is the outgoing kitty. She'll tell you what's what. She'll fight any cat who gets in her way, regardless if they're like 20 times her size. She's a powerful lady. And then our old escape artist, this little girl here, who I hate to keep putting back in that room when she escapes. Right now the doors are open, so it's fine. But she still thinks I'm going to put her back in that room. So she's hiding. But today, there is a great big book sale happening. And I'm going to go to it. So it's going to be a big old book haul. But I just wanted to show some kitties before I left. And these are my kitties. This is Claude, my other foster, Nami. Claude is cautious because they keep attacking him. He's not attacking them, but they keep backing him and bashing him. Obviously, he's not hurt because he's an adult cat and they are little kitten babies, but, they have strong opinions. So I'm going to see if I can't fill up this baggie with a whole bunch of books. Now, obviously, that's probably not too smart because all of my bookshelves are actually completely full. Like, completely full. I just bought this, and this one's completely full. So this is going to be a bad thing. I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. So let's see how I do. Close it on Godzilla's mouth. Transition. Hello, and welcome to the haul portion of this video. Sorry I didn't get too much footage of the actual sale itself. It was insanely packed, insanely sweaty, and just a nightmare all around to try and figure out what was going on. It was very well laid out, which was nice. They didn't have an actual horror section, but I actually think that was probably a benefit because I found a lot of horror books in weird spots and a lot of really hard to find horror books. And I feel like if there was a horror section, I might have been beat to these books. But because I have, zebra vision, aka being able to spot every weird logo for all these classic horror labels, so I was able to get quite a bit. Let's just start out. I have a lot to talk about, and let's chat about what we got. So starting off, I found the very first edition of this. I found the first book in this trilogy. This is just like a weird X-Men trilogy written by Christopher Golden. I just watched, for whatever reason, I was rewatching episodes of X-Men, the animated series, and I was like, oh my god, that was so stupid, that was so fun, I need to buy more X-Men books, so I bought some X-Men books. That completes a trilogy where I found the first one last week. One of my biggest finds is Junkyard by Barry Porter, and a pretty great version of this. Like, this is in pretty great shape. If you don't know, this is a very hard to find paperbacks from hell. Actually, with an asterisk, I think this is a very expensive paperbacks from hell, but I actually think it's a manufactured scarcity in that, like, I don't think that this is actually that hard of a book to find. Right now, if you look online, you can find about 10 to 12 listings for it, but for whatever reason, they're all upwards of $100, and I got this for $1. And I think that this book in particular is one of those books where I think one person one time managed to scam somebody to paying $100. So now it goes for that online just as the base price. But I don't think it's actually a very rare book. And I actually don't think it's a book that is worthy of that insane pricing. But because it's insane pricing, I was very happy to find this. I've wanted to read this anyways. This is clearly in the long line of killer mutants books. It seems like this is another mutant rat book, so Will it match up with good old James Herbert? I don't know. I don't know. We will find out. That book alone, makes this entire book worth it. Here's some weird stuff. This is another zebra book called Survivors. It looks like it's just like a World War III book. I don't know. Those books are always kind of fascinating. It's zebra, so I always buy it just in case. I don't know. It might actually be horror. I don't know. Here is a Chelsea Quinn Yarborough book, Sins and Portents. I have not actually read any Chelsea Quinn Yarborough, but I have got quite a few of her books, so as we go through, you'll find some. Sisterhood by Florence Stevens. Do not know anything about this book. It looks like it's all about some witches. And, yeah. Good old witches. Good old witches. Florence Stephenson sounds like a female writer, so that's always good. Here is an interesting book about the Cthulhu mythos. I don't know much about this. It looks like none of this is actually written by H.P. Lovecraft, which is why I bought it. It says, for whatever reason, it says Robert E. Howard on it. So I don't know if Robert E. Howard wrote a bunch of Cthulhu stuff. I guess I will find out. I had to buy this one mainly for the cover. Mystery Cats. I mean, come on. Feline felonies? Like, come on. Amazing. How could anyone not buy that book? If you're a person who would not have bought that book, don't talk to me ever again. That was a joke. So, weirdly enough, I don't know where the last one of this is, but I have two of the amazing UK covers of Clive Barker's Books of Blood. I fucking hate the North American covers for all of the Books of Blood series, and these are amazing books. Like, these are some of the best short stories ever written, and I immediately got rid of my North American covers because I ordered them online expecting covers like this, and they came with the stupid masks, which is the North American covers, and I hate them. So I was over the moon to find those original UK versions. A novelization for 30 Days of Night. A weird book to have a novelization because it's based on a comic book. But hey, I'm a sucker for vampires. I think that movie is fine. So, hopefully it's good. We have another Clive Barker in here. This is the Scarlet Gospels. So the Scarlet Gospels is actually a sequel to the Hellbound Heart. And it is his only other, Barker's only full book version of Cenobite Madness. I have read this in audiobook format, and I fucking love this book. This is one of my all-time favorite books in general. I absolutely adore the Scarlet Gospels. And I am very excited to own a version of it, like a little paperback, so I'll be able to read it anytime I want. Anytime I want. The Shroud by John Coyne. I love this cover. It's such a interesting, odd-looking cover. Not exactly sure what's going on here. John Coyne writes very weird books. And I'm super pumped. To see what weird books he brought to us then. Here's one I've never heard of, and I just kind of bought it for the cover. This is Deadeye. It looks like it is a boat-related horror story or horror tale. I am not sure, but even if it's just like a normal-looking, average book, I absolutely love the cover on it. So it gets points for just having a cover that cool. Another short story collection I've never really heard of before, but it has some really good short stories in it. This is The Screaming Skull and Other Great American Ghost Stories. A great cover there.
And some classic writers are in there because there's stuff like, Edgar Allan Poe is in there and Mark Twain is one of the people. So there's 8 stories in all, and that might be something cool to read during Halloween just because it's classic stuff. 2 more Chelsea Quinn Yarborough books, both books that I've really, really excited to find. So this is Nomads, which I don't know. I don't know anything about this book. I really like the cover. This is one I've been searching for a while. This is Beast Knights by Chelsea Quinn Yarborough. Great, great cover on that. Look at that fangy madness. Amazing cover. Here's one that is a fascinating thing to exist. This is a short story collection edited by Dennis Etchison, and it's meta horror. And this, when was this written? So this is an Abyss title. Part of the Del Abyss line. So yeah, this is 1992. A 1992 Del Abyss title. Short story collection featuring many, many famous writers. I find that fascinating because meta horror as we know it was really not that big in 1992, right? You mostly think of it with the advent of New Nightmare and all of the other Wes Craven stuff, and Scream, of course. Scream, of course, is like the big one, but there were a few entries in meta horror, but I would be really interested to see what those writers in the 90s would have thought. I found a Hellboy book. Hellboy is probably one of my favorite fictional characters. I absolutely love Hellboy. I love all the comics that I've read of Hellboy. So I was like, oh, I'm going to expand beyond the comics. Beyond the comics. Here's a cool one. This is a Claire McNally book, and this is called Addison House. I love the title for this. I own a few other Claire McNally books, but I haven't actually read too many. I think maybe one of these months I'm going to do an all-female horror writers month and just read various books by female horror writers. Here are some of my only hardcovers that I got. More Chelsea Quinn Yarborough. This is Blood Games, which is said to be a historical horror novel set in Nero's Rome. Like, that is a fascinating concept. And then the other one is Tempting Fate, which is another Chelsea Quinn Yarborough book. Another hardcover there. Awesome, awesome stuff. This, I think, is like a vampire thing. Let me take a look. A guy's account. There's got to be some kind of vampire-ness going on there. Really surprised to find 2 hardcover Chelsea Quinn Yarborough books, right? Like, that was a surprise. Here's another one. This is Richard Lehman's Night Show, but this is a special definitive edition. I don't know how many of these were published. Like, this was published. This was a 2015 was when this version was published. This trade hardcover. And I just don't know if this is is this rare? Is this common? I don't know. I've never seen this before. And it just like was a very weird way to own a Richard Lehman book, right? Like, who's doing special edition of Richard Lehman books? I don't know. We get some more. Molten Steel. I've been kind of collecting all the books in the Steel franchise because this is like a weird RoboCop ripoff as a series. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to grab more of those. That was the only one I found there. The Brownstone by Ken Ulo. Ken Ulo has a bunch of Blank Stones books, and I'm trying to collect them all. This is one I've been kind of looking for a while. This is a cool looking one. I believe these are all kind of just ghost stories. I don't read enough just kind of normal ghost stories, but now I'll be able to. This is Fire Code. Another Chelsea Quinn Yarborough book. Is this Chelsea Quinn Yarborough's version of Firestarter? Like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. A book that deals with a lot of women's issues. So, you know, probably better if a woman writes it. This is a Paper Jacks one. This is not a horror movie, but this is Starmageddon. I kind of buy any Paper Jacks books I find because Paper Jacks was like a very small Canadian publisher and they did a lot of paperback originals. All of Paper Jacks horror stuff is insane as far as like pricing goes. And the one that I've only read one, which is Cold Front. And I really like that book. That was a nasty ass book. This one, media tie-in book, this is StarCraft, Queen of Blades. Basically, I got this because I do an alien podcast, and this everyone kind of knows that the Zerg are basically xenomorphs with some weird little changes. Here's a classic one as far as covers I've been searching for a very long time. This is Phantom by Thomas Tessier. And this is a very famous paperback from hell. I've been looking for this one for a while. I think I literally had given up ever finding this one for a good price. So very, very happy to find that one. Here's a weird one. Never heard of before. The Lurker. Creepy guy lurking. Dell horror book. When did this come out, I wonder? Let us see. Yeah, this is a 1989. This is a 1989 Dell horror book. Seems like it's just a creepy serial killer lurking around. What are you doing, serial killer? Why are you lurking? Here is a cool looking Wolverine book. Like I said, I wanted to read more X-Men books, and now I have an excuse with this cool looking Wolverine books. They look pretty crazy. Like, what's going on? Wolverine, why are you in Vegas? And why are your ribs showing? I don't know, Mr. Wolverine, why you have that things? Here's a weird one. Never heard of this before. Weird type. So this is Batman, the Ultimate Evil. What? This is Batman dealing with the sex industry? What? In the heart of Gotham's darkness glows the cold, garish neon of the sex industry. The feverish eyes of desperate drug addicts. The streetlights creating shadows in which muggers patiently wait. This is where Batman's most personal and most savage battle begins. What? I have never heard of this book. When was this published? Let's see. 1995. I have enjoyed the Batman fiction I've read. I think I've really only read one, but the one I read was good. So, there you go. Waterworld. A novelization of Waterworld. I don't think I need to say anymore. Why is this so big? Why is there so many words written about Waterworld? An absolutely terrible movie. Oh, of course I bought it. Let's not be too ridiculous. Oh, here's the other Books of Blood volume that I found from Clive Barker. I knew I had one more. I knew it was hiding on me. I don't know anything about this one. Progeny. A bunch of pregnant ladies. And it seems to be about evil babies. Evil babies are coming to get you. Never trust the evil babies. Evil babies. Okay, we're getting near the end here. This one, I noticed the Pinnacle horror book, and I eventually picked it up. Don't know anything about this. This is When Darkness Falls. There is a wolfie there. Is it a werewolf book? Oh, I think it's a werewolf book. When was this published? 1992. A Werewolf and Never. Come on, feel the noise. Werewolves, rock you boys. This is another John Coyne book. The Passing. The piercing John Coyne. Oh, it's coming to get you. It's coming to get you. A Halo novel. This is who I am now. I guess I buy Halo novels. Haven't read any of them. Keep buying them because that's who I am. I'm never gonna change. I might have to because I'll run out of space. I'm already out of space. Robert Bloch's The Jekyll Legacy. I don't know. I love Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I had to buy a book that kind of was related. Oh, this is kind of from my Dracula collection. We have the Journal of Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Can't wait. Here is a book that I'm fairly certain will not age well when I read it. I have no idea how to pronounce that name, so I'm not going to say it. But it's a female horror book about haunted dreams. I don't know. Maybe an indigenous Freddy Krueger. I do not know. Then I have found another Doom book. I cannot believe. I believe this is the the third one. So I think this is number 3 in that series of Doom tie-in books. I don't know. I find nothing more hilarious than Doom tie-in books. Yeah, this is 1997. A Doom tie-in book. What stories? Like a classic new space opera. It's Doom. It's a guy who just shoots demons. I have no idea. I cannot wait. To figure out what's going on there. And then, so I have been trying to complete my collection of Lone Star books. There's only about 100 of those. I think there's like 150 of those. I left one. Crap. I found another one that I wanted to keep, but oh well, I left it. But these are all of the... I'm trying to fill in the missing pieces. There were so many Lone Star books there. I could have bought probably about 50 or 60 of them. I was just like, no, I'm only going to buy a few. I'm going to try and get to finish to what I have. So fill in some of the blanks with what I have. So I have number 2. I have number 1 and number 3, but not number 2. Number 19. Number 19. Number 16. 15. 14, 13, and 10. Doesn't seem like Lone Star, at least around here, is a very hard to find series. So I didn't want to go ham and just buy all of them now. It's more fun if I just have a list of what I have and just slowly get onto it. So I think it's fully possible that I will be able to find all 100-something Lone Star books. And then just read them all. Spend a whole year just reading Lone Star books. What could happen? What would my life be like after that? So, what books out of this huge collection should I read first? What are your favorite finds? Anything I bought that you're like, that's dumb. You should not have bought that. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys are having a great day. I will be doing my Garbogist wrap up next Tuesday. I've just taken there's no there's no Garbogist specific books videos in this week, just basically because I haven't got to a lot of reading. So be happy with what you get. Bye.
Kittens, look at all these babies. Kittens, look at all these little babies. Kittens, look at this one. She's giving herself some licks. I love you.